Stoughton High School Kickoff Night. The Viking Kickoff Night is not just a review of the expectations to be a Viking, but rather a great opportunity to set a vision and provide direction for a great year. Looking back at 2015-16, it was a banner year for Stoughton athletics. It was a culmination of the hard work done by so many for the past 6+ years. Not only the dedication by our student athletes and coaches on the field of play, but throughout our programs as a whole that promote character, academic achievement, leadership, and overall Viking pride allowed us in our entire athletic department to become more successful. It was truly a great time to be a Viking. A major part of the success has come from our multiple sport athletes and our academic achievement. As you go throughout central registration in a couple weeks, those who were 3-sport athletes or those that will remain on the honor roll, be sure to pick up your t-shirt and your patches from the athletic stand, from Ms. Lemoyne or myself. Sharing success from one program to another is what's making all of our programs successful. As for tonight's agenda, you can see here, we are going to start out with some inspiration from our coaches. We're going to go through our Booster Club membership. We're going to go through our athletic training, impact testing, our code of conduct, NCAA and amateur status, as well as areas of emphasis, and finish up with our fall sports meetings. Technology must not be with us yet this year. So, to start things out, over the last couple of years, we started out our kickoff meeting with a guest speaker to help motivate, inspire, and set the tone for the year for our Viking athletics. This year, the inspiration will come from within our own program. I was given this particular book by a mentor of mine, and when I took the time to read it, I was amazed at how similar the perspective of the legendary Coach Wooden was to the thoughts and the processes that I had regarding athletics and those things that I strive for. At the end of last school year, every head coach was assigned a book to read to be able to continue our efforts in being servant coaches and provide the best experiences we can for each team member. Tonight, instead of having a guest speaker to motivate and inspire the Vikings of 2016-17, a few of our head coaches are going to share with you their selection and excerpt of the book that they feel can make an impact on all of our athletes, programs, and our Vikings. So to start us off, Coach Kate.
We hope that being a young student athlete will positively shape our child's future and life choices. However, when you are the student athlete, and when you're in the moment, the process is painful and slow. And the final outcome of who we are becoming isn't wholly noticed until we're well past our childhoods. Be patient and promise the outcome is worth your sacrifice. As coaches, we're here not just to build up an athletic program. We're here to use our skills to give back to our community by improving the lives of children in Stoughton. But what if all of the intelligent, strong, capable student athletes in this room grew up to give their unique strengths back to their communities? There's just something really inspiring about that. And so that's why I chose this passage. It's not the individual game, practice, or meet that's important, but what is important is who the student athlete becomes and what they learn about themselves because of their sports experience.
We may not have won a championship every year. We may have lost games, but we had no failures. You never fail if you know in your heart that you did the best of which you are capable. I did my best. That is all I could do. Are you going to make mistakes? Of course you are. But it's not failure if you make the full effort. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you prepare properly, you may be outscored, but you will never lose. You always win when you make the full effort to do the best of what you're capable. Only one person on this earth knows if you've made your best effort, and that person is you. You can fool everyone else as long as you know that you put your best effort forward.
Is winning the only thing? Mr. Vince Lombardi is supposed to have said, winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Well, if he said that, I disagree. I believe making the total effort is everything. And that is all I ever want and all I ever ask for myself, my runners, or my players. It's all you should ever ask or be expected of. Understand that you won't actually ever become the best which you are capable. That is perfection. We can't obtain perfection as I understand it, but we can work, and we can work hard towards obtaining it. It is what I expect of myself, and it is what I expect of my athletes every day. If we do this, we will never lose in sports or life.
Happiness is in many things. It is in love, it is in sharing, but most of all, it's being in peace with yourself, knowing that you are making the effort, the full effort, to do what is right. True happiness comes from the things that cannot be taken away from you. Making the full effort to do the right thing can never be taken away from you. I believe the greatest joy one can have is doing something for someone else without any thought of getting anything or something in return.
Be more concerned with your character than your reputation. Character is what you really are. Reputation is what people say you are. Reputation is often based on character, but not always. What do you want to be remembered by as an athlete in this high school? Do you want to be remembered by your character or your reputation? Do you want to strive to be that positive reputation because you are your true and honest self and you bring out the best characteristics in your teammates and friends?
Underdogs. I've never gone into a game thinking we were going to lose. Never. Even though there have been games where the experts said there was no way we could win. Even if we were big underdogs, I always felt anything could happen. Often enough, I was right. That's also why I never assumed we were going to win.
I chose this passage because I strongly believe in the difference between trying your best and assuming you're the best. Ego narratives. Take a bucket and fill it with water, put your hand in it up to the wrist, pull it out, and the hole that's remaining is the measure of how much you'll be missed. The moral in this quaint example is to do the best you can. Be proud of yourself, but remember, there is no indispensable.
Alright, paying the price. People usually know what they should do to get what they want. They just won't do it. They won't pay the price. Understand there is a price to be paid for achieving anything of significance. You must be willing to pay the price. Don't be afraid to be a great person. Don't be afraid to be a great student, athlete, coach, and be willing to put in the work. Don't be scared from the work. Just want to share a quick email I actually got about 10 minutes ago that goes along with this from a friend. It's about intimidation. Your obstacles should not be smaller, you should be bigger. Your life should not be easier, you should be tougher. Life won't shrink so you can feel superior, yet life will shrivel the moment you soar, the moment you take the stand, the moment you start growing, that no matter what, you won't back away. The universe will stop trying to intimidate you once you demonstrate that there's nothing that it can do to make you feel intimidated. Don't ask for a light load, but rather ask for a strong family.
6 ways to bring out the best in people. I chose this because if we can't bring out the best in people that are on our team, we have 0 chance of accomplishing our goals. So looking at these, the first one that we had, keep courtesy and consideration for others foremost in your mind, at home anyway. Try to have fun without trying to be funny. There is a difference. While you can't control what happens to you, you can control how you react. Make good manners an automatic reaction. Seek individual opportunities to offer a genuine compliment. Remember that sincerity, optimism, and enthusiasm are more welcome than sarcasm, pessimism, and laziness. Laugh with others, never at them.
The biggest change of all. Perhaps you fret and think you can't make a difference in the way things are. Wrong. You can make the biggest difference of all. You can change yourself. And when you do that, you become a very powerful and important force, namely a good role model. I believe you can do more good by being good than in any other way.
Characteristics of a team player. We all fit in different niches. Each of us must make the effort to contribute to the best of our ability according to our own individual talents. And then we put all the individual talents together for the highest good of the group. Thus, I value a player who cared for others and could lose himself in the group for the good of the group. I believe that the quality makes for an outstanding player. It is also why the best players don't always make the best team. I mean by this that a gifted player or players who are not team players will always ultimately hurt the team, whether it revolves around basketball or business. Understanding that the good of the group come first is fundamental to being a highly productive member of the team.
I'll apologize for the lengthiness of this one. I think this has a lot to do with perspective, and pretty much life comes down to what your perspective is. Are you looking for the right things? There's an old story about a fellow who went to a small town in Indiana with the thought of possibly moving his family there. What kind of people live around here? He asked the attendant at the local gas station. Well, the attendant replied as he checked the oil, what kind of people live back where you're from? The visitor took a swallow of his cherry soda and replied, they're ornery, mean, and dishonest. The attendant looked up and answered, Mister, you'll find them about like that around here too. A few weeks later, another gentleman stopped by the gas station on a muggy July afternoon, kind of like today. Excuse me, he said, as he mopped off his brow. I'm thinking of moving to your town here with my family. What kind of people live around these parts? Again, the attendant asked the man, well, what kind of people live back where you're from? The stranger thought for a moment and replied, I find them kind, decent, and honest folks. The gas station attendant looked up and said, Mister, you'll find them just about like that around here too. So it is pretty true. You often find exactly what you're looking for.
I also didn't get the memo on short. You become effective with success when you think that your past is going to have an impact on your future. Oh, it might have an effect on the opposition, and that your success may affect their thinking. Fine, but do not let it affect what you do. Learn from the past, don't live in the past. Uncle Rico. The infection of success can lead you to live in the past, to believe what you have happened before is automatically going to happen again. When that occurs, you have been affected by success. You have control only over the present right now. Let me prove it to you. I ask you to do this, change the past. Even the smallest, most incidental, least important thing that has happened to you. Go ahead and show that you can change it. The future, again, I ask you, change right now something in the future. Can you? Of course not. Your control exists now, in the present, right here. How you respond to the past success can be damaging if you let it infect your thinking, if you let it diminish your preparation in the present for the future. Then you've been affected by success.
Although I'm not a parent, I did find this poem really inspirational, and I have the last reading of the night. This is your first game, my child. I hope you win. I hope you win for your sake, not mine. Because winning's nice. It's a good feeling. Like the whole world is yours. But it passes, this feeling. And what lasts is what you've learned. And what you learn about is life. That's what sports is all about. Life. The whole thing is played out in one afternoon. The happiness of life, the miseries, the joys, the heartbreaks. There's no telling what will turn out. There's no telling how you'll do.
You might be a hero or you might not. I'm not talking about the game, my child. I'm talking about life. But it's life that the game is all about, just as I said. Because every game is life. And life is a game, a serious game. But that's what you do with serious things. You do your best. You take what comes and you run with it. Winning is fun, sure, but winning is not the point. Wanting to win is the point. Not giving up is the point. Never being satisfied with what you've done is the point. Never letting up is the point. Never letting anyone down is the point. Play to win, sure, but lose like a champion. Because it's not winning that counts. What counts is trying.
Thank you, coaches. And as you can see, it's a very inspirational book. And if you ever have a moment to read it, I definitely recommend it. The premise behind this is serving leadership, and that's what you can expect from all of our coaches as you go through this 16-17 school year. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Craig Knott, President of Stoughton Sports Booster Club, to say a few words. As Craig comes up, I just want to start out by saying thanks to our sports boosters for all their energy and efforts in helping support our athletic department. Craig?
On behalf of the Stoughton Sports Booster Club, I'd like to thank Mel and the athletic department for this opportunity. This is a really important night for our organization. It's a chance to connect with all of our current membership and say thank you and have them with you for the upcoming year. But it's also a great opportunity to connect with folks that have yet to partake in the Stoughton Sports Booster Club. What we do is really important to the student athletes of this high school. So hopefully, as we depart tonight, we'll all go by our table and sign up, because it will be very important for our kids. As I look and go to events at the school, I'm always amazed by the community spirit that I see. I did graduate from Stoughton High School, but we moved away. We lived in Oregon, we lived in the Twin Cities area. It was just different. I come to a basketball game now, people don't leave, they huddle, they gather on the floor. There's a community spirit of what we do, so it's very, very special. And we can't take that for granted. The success we have had is amazing. Every sport seems to be having an unbelievable season, setting new records. And to be able to do that in a time where budgets are so tight, and Mel has a shoestring budget, is really a testament to not only Mel, the athletic department, and all the coaches, but to the hard work that all these student athletes are putting in. That's why the work that we do with the Stoughton Sports Booster Club is also so important, to ensure that the student athletes here at the high school have all of the equipment, have all of their needs met in order to maintain their competitiveness. So who are we? We're an organization that's impartial. We support all teams. We don't just support football or basketball, we support all teams. Any coach simply needs to fill out a request, submit it to Mel, and Mel will bring it to our board meeting for consideration. Our hope is to be able to fund any request that comes through, and that's why the work that we do here with our membership drives, that's why the work we do with our corporate membership drives, as well as other fundraising events is so important. Over the last 10 years, Stoughton Sports Booster Club has donated over $350,000 to the student athletes within the high school. That's an amazing figure, and it just shows you the strength and the support of all of you folks within our community. But we got to keep pushing, we got to keep growing, because again, budgets are only going to get tighter, costs are going to go up. So how do we raise our funds? First and foremost, we have a general membership drive. A year ago, this time at this meeting, Randy Olson, who was the president, stood before this group of folks. And we had a real problem on our hands. We had over 500 athletes that participated in sports at the high school level, but yet we only had 90 members. Randy challenged everybody in the room at that time, and we needed to double the membership within our organization. We worked really hard in 2015 and 16. We came close to that goal. We grew from 90 members to 170. However, again, we have over 500 athletes. I still think 170 170 is far short of what we're capable of. As we listen to what some of the excerpts from Wood's book, it's always pushing to be the best that we can be. And that's what the Sports Booster Club's always trying to do. So my challenge to all of you is we need to grow that to 250. I'd like to be back here at this meeting and say over the last 2 years, we've grown our general membership from 90 to 250 plus. I believe that's very doable. So before you leave tonight, please consider stopping by our table, dropping off a sign-up form, or signing up on the spot. We really appreciate it. Number two, the way that we generate our funds is through corporate membership. I am continually amazed by what the businesses in our community do. We have many business owners sitting here tonight, but they are relentlessly asked to support different programs, different initiatives, different fundraisers. And they always do so with such graciousness. We have a very committed following of corporate members, and if you're here today, I'd like to personally thank you for that. Your support is absolutely critical. If you know somebody that has supported our organization as part of their business, please thank them. Again, we can't do any of these things that we were able to do for our student athletes here at high school without that kind of level of support. And then lastly, we have very important fundraising events. We're going to focus on 2 of them this year. The first one is a biking truck. It's a 5K run walk. We were going to have it early August, but we've now postponed that to October 2nd, so we're going to throw that in our calendar. It's a great family event, and it gives us an opportunity to raise over $10,000, again, all that will go back to our student athletes from the high school. And then our second event will be a new one. We're going to have a winter kickoff, sports kickoff event, somewhere in the November or so time frame, but there'll be more information that will come into the community and the organization about what that event will look like. So please not only consider supporting the organization and signing up through a membership, but watch for the sign-ups for the biking truck as well as the winter fundraiser. So Mel, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really do appreciate it, coaches. Thank you for letting us share our airtime tonight, and good luck to all the Falls teams this year.
Thanks again, Craig, and all of our sports boosters. Moving on. We are fortunate enough once again to have Sam with us from UW Sports Health. Sam is our athletic trainer, and she is truly an outstanding caring individual for our student athletes. One item that I'd like to point out to you regarding Sam and the UW sports program and our multiple sport athletes is that Sam is always available to us. It's either by phone, by in person, or email. And she definitely cares for the health and the well-being of our student athletes. Sam, if you could just stand up real quick, say hello to everybody so they can put a name and a face together for us. We're 20 years in athletics. I haven't found a trainer that's as caring and as thorough as what Sam is for our student athletes. And it's not only during her hours that she works, it's even outside of that as well. So Sam, thank you. Sam will once again be conducting and setting up some impact testing for our student athletes that need it. Impact testing, as we all know, does not prevent concussions, but it helps us figure out when our student athletes can return back to the field of play and that there are signs and symptoms of such concussions have cleared. So all of our programs are eligible for this testing, and we do require some programs to have that test. So information will be shared through your individual practices and coaches in order to get your impact test set up. The following are a few programs of distinction that we have here at Stoughton within our athletic department that help our student athletes become more successful. Our academic coaching, our strength training, our character education, and our life of a Viking. We truly feel that these programs here help us continue moving forward and attain our foundational goals, which are provide educational experience, representation at the state level, WIA Sportsmanship Award, promote collegiate participation, character education, and of course academic achievement. At this time, we will highlight the key points of interest within the Code of Conduct and where to locate that information within the booklet. You can also find a copy online on the athletic homepage. Those of you that may have a copy at home, it is still the same literature. Extracurricular activities on page 1. The code details expectations as they pertain to all extracurricular participation in the Stoughton Area School District. This is a 12-month requirement. Participation activities is earned in part by accepting and following the regulations contained in the Code of Conduct. Extracurricular expectations on page 2. All students participating in extracurricular activities are expected to do the following: fulfill the responsibility and obligation that goes with extracurricular participation by adhering to school rules, school board policy, and local and state and federal regulations. Agree that studies come first and strive for success in academics as well as in extracurricular activities. Recognize that students represent their school, community, and both are judged by the students' actions. Therefore, the students should demonstrate good citizenship in the public and in the school, and they should adhere to high standards of appearance, conduct, and performance. Complete the season of activity in good standing in order to qualify for and receive any awards of distinction and honor. Respect and encourage excellence of performance and conduct among opponents as well as teammates. And attend the required code meeting, which you are taking care of here tonight, as well as for those not able to attend, arrangements are made through our athletic office. Attendance. In order to participate in extracurricular activities, a student must be in school and attending class the entire day of a contest or a practice. Students will have 2 days to clear up any attendance issues or have to miss the next competition. A student would be exempt from this regulation if he or she has an absence excused in advance by one of the administrators or a designee. Absences occurring due to an unforeseen emergency may be appealed to an administrator. Students are prohibited from participating in extracurricular activities on the date of an unexcused absence. This is reference to Board Policy 705. Administration rule regarding interpretation of Board Policy 705. A student would be exempt from board policy if he or she had made advanced personal contact and received prior permission from an administrator or designee for any absence from school. Student cannot report to school for extracurricular participation only. If a student wishes to leave school during the day of an activity, he or she must gain permission from an administrator or designee. If the procedure is not followed, the student is considered unexcused and will not be eligible for the next activity. Unexcused absences from school may be reviewed as an extracurricular activity code violation. Scholarship and academic requirements. The following academic eligibility requirements have been approved by the Board of Education and are included in all extracurricular activities not specifically related to a class. These requirements are: a student participating in extracurricular activities must not be failing in more than one class. A student must be passing 20 class hours per week. Example, 4 classes, which meets 5 days a week. Stoughton Area School District grades are checked first quarter, first semester, third quarter, and second semester. Incomplete grades are considered failing grades until made up. Ineligibility extends 15 school days from the date grades are distributed to students. A student who becomes academically ineligible may regain eligibility on the 16th school day by meeting the academic standard following a period of 15 school days and nights of ineligibility. Citizenship requirements located on page 4. Students are required to comply with state, municipal, school board, and building policies and procedures. Display respect for themselves, their peers, teachers, coaches, administrators, parents, and the community. Display appropriate behavior, language, effort, and sportsmanship in the classroom, traveling to and from contests and interscholastic competition, as well as not attend functions where underage drinking or illegal drug use occurs. Health, safety, and behavior requirements located on page 5. Students are prohibited from drinking or possessing alcoholic beverages, using or possessing drugs prohibited by the law, smoking, chewing, or possessing tobacco products, stealing, vandalizing, or destroying equipment or property, using, possession, buying, or selling of controlled substance, street drugs, and performance-enhancing substances, behavior in violation of the governing criminal code that does not result in the student-athlete being charged with a felony, as well as behavior in violation of the school board policy, building handbook, and the athletic activity handbook for parents and student-athletes. Violation suspension chart located on page 7. In the unfortunate situation that a violation does occur, this chart will help everybody determine the length of the suspension. WIA statement of risk and eligibility located on page 10. Statement of risk. Physical activity yields many benefits, but may result in catastrophic injuries. All sports involve movement, some involve contact. Sports may be a high-risk area of serious injuries. Although the Board of Education and the Stoughton Area School District endeavor to operate athletic activities in a safe manner, it is impossible to eliminate all risks associated with physical activity and/or sports. Therefore, parents and athletes should consider these risks carefully before deciding to participate in interscholastic athletic activities. You will find the following statement of risk and the criteria for eligibility required by the WIA in these pages 10 through 12. Additional information. Here is just a quick little list of the other items that you will find in the Code of Conduct book. Anything from how to report violations, practice, travel conduct, voluntary statement, alternate transportation information. NCAA and amateur status. Along with a few other items of information on our website, I want to point out that there are two that will help parents answer questions regarding NCAA eligibility, as well as the amateur status regulations established by the WIAA. The NCAA link will help start answering questions regarding the NCAA academic requirements and the process for entering the clearinghouse to be eligible to receive athletic scholarship or participate at the collegiate level. Freshmen and sophomores, this process is something that you should start at this time. Amateur status link is a quick guide in the basics of amateur status rules from the WIAA. Remember, in order for athletes to be eligible to play high school sports, they must remain amateurs. This includes receiving payouts, incentives, or using them for marketing and other profitable promotions. These can be found on the front page of the athletic website as well. Harassment, hazing, and bullying. Stoughton Area School District has a clear policy prohibiting these actions. This information can be found in Board Policy 502 and 503. I bring this up to you that as Vikings, we have continued to create an environment where student athletes are in an environment where they can succeed. As we move into 2016-17, with strong leadership, we will display that there is no place for these type of actions. In the event that one does feel violated, our process is simple: to report this in confidence to either one's coach, myself, or a respected counselor. Quick clarification regarding both attendance and self-referral. Students are required to be in school the whole day for practice and competition. Students can be absent for a pre-approved absence by the athletic office. Note, a parent can call in and excuse a student from school, but this is not what is considered a pre-approved absence. We will assist in making accommodations for those who are not able, for things that are not able to be rescheduled, doctor's appointments and so forth. But this can only be done by contacting the athletic office prior to the absence and getting the confirmation back. Bottom line is that we all know that academics must be a first, and our teachers cannot teach our students if they're not in class. As Vikings, we strive for high academics and as well as attendance. Regarding the self-reporting, one bit of clarification is the self-referral must be done incomplete as well as done within 72 hours of the violation, prior to any other source of report of said violation. Moving forward, bottom line, representing Stoughton and your family is a privilege. We expect you to not only follow, but teach others the laws and the rules of society. If there is a violation, policy timely manner, and all involved will be treated with dignity and respect. So an education lesson will be the result. Parents, help us keep your athletes on the field of play, and athletes, help make your parents in Stoughton proud of you. Now that we have the backbone of our code of conduct taken care of, I wanted to preface the upcoming year a little bit. So, our goals in 2016-17 will continue working on the foundational goals and measurable goals of academic achievement. Encourage your son or daughter to utilize academic coach on Tuesdays and Thursdays right after school. Back to the attendance. We need all of our students in school all the time to stay ahead academically. Character education. As you saw with that video that started out tonight, we will continue with character lessons throughout the year to help foster stronger athletes all the way around. And participation. The more athletes that we have on each team, the stronger our competition within practice will be, the stronger our teams will become. We are succeeding with our multiple sport athletes at this time. And then, of course, always lowering our code violations. We all know that a clean athlete is a much more productive athlete. Communication. We want to hear from our athletes and our supporters. Each program will have an individual captain's meeting with my office or myself throughout the season to discuss current issues within their programs. We will be reinstituting our online feedback form for all stakeholders within the Stoughton Area School District. This will be sport and department specific for anyone to give feedback on our program. Information shared will be discussed within each impacting program. Look to see this before the school starts on the Athletic Home webpage. And finally, on communication, at any time that you have something that you'd like to discuss, I encourage you to reach out not only to our coaches, who you saw here tonight, but my office as well, via phone, email, or in person. We can only truly know if we are in direct communication. Efficiency. As most of you already know, we have gone away with the stacks of papers and gone with electronic athletic registration. This will help make the process much more efficient for you, our families, our coaches, and our office. Here is the online registration form. It can be located on the athletic webpage, on the school website. We know that this is a new process, and there will be some bumps along the road as we roll this out. Please know that our office is here for you, Ms. Lemoyne, myself, as well as our coaches to assist in the process. If you struggle, please give us a call or stop in and let us give you a hand. We know that this will make the process much more smooth in the future. Paperwork. Please note that the entire code is online for you to be able to read. The required paperwork listed here must be completed before any practice can take place. Physicals must be current and submitted. A special note for the change in 2016-17 year, highlighted here in yellow. In order to implement the online process, the sports fee had to be consistent across the board. In the past, as you know, it was $50 for the first sport, $25 for each edition. Moving forward, it will be $40 for each sport, first, second, and third. Sports fees to be paid at central registration, online, or in person with check or cash. As we're about to wrap up, I wanted to share with you a small excerpt from Coach Wooden on success. Success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result of knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming. Each and every day, I am fortunate to see all of our Vikings, that's our student athletes, become more and more successful. As you go tonight, I want to wish you all the best of luck this year. Thank you to our Booster Club for the support, as well as the coaches and parents for supporting another solid offseason that will prepare us for a great year. As you take the field of play this year, remember that you always represent someone, yourself, your family, your team, your school, and your community. Represent it like a Stoughton Viking. Last slide I have for you is our fall meeting location. One key thing I want to point out is that we did flip-flop girls swim and girls tennis. So girls tennis will be in the commons, girls swim will be in the orchestra room to accommodate roster size.